Okay, Minister, the Daniel Tatlow-Devally has been in prison in Ulm in Germany since September, incarcerated 23 hours a day, effectively in solitary confinement, in pretty shocking conditions in imprisonment. Wasn't allowed to hug his family until there was intervention by myself and other TDs with the German ambassador. Several months into his incarceration, wasn't allowed to get books of his own choice, and generally kept in pretty awful conditions. And his trial was due to begin yesterday in Stuttgart, and the circumstances of that trial, now, so say he's why is he in prison? Because he engaged in a direct action protest against Elbit Systems, who produce 80% of the weapons for Israel that they have used to commit the genocidal massacre against the Palestinians in Gaza. The protest was attempting to uphold the obligations of all states, which they failed to fulfil under the Genocide Convention to act to prevent the commission of genocide. It was a direct action protest, but it was not one where anybody was physically threatened or harmed. The people didn't run away, they didn't resist arrest. They waited indeed for the police to come and arrest them, and represented no physical threat to anybody. But the German authorities have decided to convict them under legislation that's reserved for organised crime, and are trying them now in a court which is normally reserved for terrorists and for organised criminals. And the trial that began yesterday, the lawyers defending Daniel and the 4 other members of the Ulm 5 who were involved in the direct action in the protest against Israel's genocide and the complicity of Germany and Elbit Systems in that genocide described what happened in the courtroom as completely unprecedented. They've never seen anything like it. So, for example, in any normal trial in Germany, the person who's on trial, even if they're like a terrorist or a neo-Nazi murderer, can sit with their lawyers, sit in between their lawyers. This isn't being allowed to an Irish citizen in an unprecedented move, or to the other members of the Elm 5. They're being put in behind a high-security glass cage, essentially, so they can't communicate properly with their lawyers, and they're being tried as organised criminals. When they represented no physical threat to anybody, but were actually acting to protest against genocide. I was talking to an MP from the German Parliament who was going down to monitor the trial. He wasn't physically allowed into the court and was told it's full. But the mother of Daniel was in there. She said it wasn't full at all. Right? And the legal team on behalf of the defence are saying they've never seen anything like it. They've called for the judge to recuse herself. Such is the sort of level of obvious bias. There was riot police in the court who were physically threatening members of the family and people who were in there, suggesting violence and so on against them. Right? It's a show trial. It's a show trial. Now, what they're asking is that the Irish government would send monitors to look over this trial, which is going to be spread over multiple days, spread across May, June, July, but also call on the German government to stop treating these people as if they're organised criminals when actually they're people who are upholding international law in protesting against the genocidal horror that Israel has inflicted on the Palestinian people, and that Elbit Systems were providing the means for Israel to commit that crime.
Thank you, and I'm responding on behalf of my ministerial colleagues in the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, who are unavailable this evening due to their as a part of the ministerial duties this evening. Providing consular assistance to Irish citizens who find themselves in difficulty abroad, including in case of arrest or detention, is a cornerstone of the work of the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade and its embassies and consulates around the world. Each year, the Department provides support to a significant number of Irish citizens arrested or detained overseas. and our right to us has always been to place a strong emphasis on ensuring that Irish citizens receive timely and empathetic consular assistance. We are aware of the case referred to by the deputies, and consular assistance has been provided to the citizen referred to since September 2025, soon after detention. I can confirm that a dedicated consular officer in the Consulate General of Ireland in Munich has been assigned to support the citizen and their family, and has provided support and advice in accordance with the Department's Consular Assistance Charter. I can further confirm that staff in the Consulate General in Munich, including the Consul General and Deputy Consul General, have undertaken 4 consular visits to the citizen in prison, the most recent on the 10th of April. We are in regular contact with the citizen and with family members. Consular visits are an opportunity to check on the welfare of a citizen, ascertain if there are any medical issues that require attention, offer pastoral support and assess the conditions of detention. Our consular officers can also act as conduits, helping to share information from and to loved ones in Ireland if that is required by the citizen. In relation to the conditions of detention in the case referred to by a deputy, I understand that these conditions are the same as those of any other person in their situation, which includes access to video calls and in-person visits. Prisoners at the facility in question also have access to a social worker. I understand, as you said, the court proceedings in this case started yesterday. As laid out in the Consular Assistance Charter, the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade and its embassies and consulates abroad are precluded from intervening in the judicial and legal processes of another country. Therefore, it would not be appropriate to comment on the ongoing legal case. You said that you asked for send monitors to the trial, and I will bring that back to the ministers. I want to assure you, Deputy, that the Department will continue to provide all necessary and appropriate consular assistance to the citizen and their family.
Boyd Barrett, 2 minutes.
Minister, see, I know you're not the senior minister and you're just reading off the script, right? Which is a bit frustrating, given that there's somebody, facing very serious charges in a court in Germany and been treated in an absolutely disgraceful way for protesting against genocide. But this is about genocide, right? And Ireland and Germany and 153 other countries are signatories to the Genocide Convention. And in case you don't know what's in that and what we signed up to, and every signatory did after the Holocaust, was as signatories to prevent even a suspicion of a possible genocide taking place, to act to prevent it and do all in our power. Now, states have failed to do that, self-evidently. That's why Ireland eventually joined the case, South Africa case, against the genocide. But people haven't prevented it because, of course, the genocide continues in Gaza. So Daniel, an Irish citizen, and other people acted to do what states have failed to do, to try and disrupt the ability of Elbit Systems in Germany to provide Israel with the weapons to commit a genocide. And for that, the German government are prosecuting them as if they were organised criminals. Right? Not just for property damage or, protesting or public order offences, as organised criminals, and they have brought them into a courthouse normally reserved for terrorists and people involved in organised crime. Riot police all over the place. Restrictions being imposed, which their legal team say are completely abnormal. The judge won't even talk to the defence legal team about the conditions in the court and the conditions under which Daniel is being detained. Right? So this isn't normal. And to simply say we don't interfere is not good enough when an Irish citizen is being treated like this for protesting against a genocide, which the Irish government even think may be a genocide because that's why he joined the case. So we're asking you to send monitors to the trial, but also to make a public statement in support of Daniel. Right, and to say that the way he's being treated by the German legal system is an absolute disgrace, because that pressure can actually impact on the German government.
Thank you, Deputy. As previously mentioned, the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade is fully aware of this case and has provided all appropriate consular assistance to the citizen and their family since September 2025 and will continue to do so. The Department, through its Consulate General in Munich, has been in regular contact with the citizen since their detention began, and over a series of consular visits it has been possible to verify that the conditions of their detention are in line with those of other detainees. Our embassy and consulates overseas play a vital role in providing support to Irish citizens who have been arrested or detained, and this is a core part of our consular assistance mandate. And again, the Department of Foreign Affairs is precluded from intervening into judicial and legal processes of another country in the provision of consular assistance. I will bring your views back to the Department.